ready for another season of the NHL.
All right. Tick tock, tick tock. Can you feel it? Can you feel the anticipation of what is about to go down here on MooseandIce.com? Ladies and gentlemen, you're part of Moose history here. The MAHL season number 6 draft. In a couple minutes here, it's going to be 18 captains selecting 18 teams here in a draft pool over 150 players. You know, this draft pool here, you got players that weren't selected on Thursday night. They're here tonight. The players that were on the MHL rights will be here tonight. Also, all the new players, the new talent, and the guys who said, hey, I want to be MAHL only. They're also here tonight. And how could I forget the guys on the waivers who played a whole season, season number 13, and what a long season that was, are here also in the AHL draft. The wait is over. The time is here. Season number 6 draft. Fellas, a lot of people doubted the AHL. When we first brought it in, a lot of people said this thing's not going to work out. They laughed at the concept. Here we are, season number 6. And we're going to make history. Like I said, 18 teams. It's a Moose Hockey League first here. In a couple minutes, we're going to have the live panel. And then it's going to be the MAHL draft recap there by the radio show. Moose family, stay tuned. What's up, Moose family? Welcome to the AHL draft here tonight, man. It's the Moose American Hockey League. It's Sunday night, and as always, you got the live panel here, panel guests. Before I go around here, Thursday night we had the MHL draft. That's done. And if you thought, the night's done, it's not, man. Tonight, Sunday night, we got the AHL draft. We got 18 teams, 18 captains, over 150 members in that draft pool. Let me go around the panels here first. You got one of the captains here in the AHL. Actually, we got 3 captains here in the AHL. First, starting things off with Saint 420. You guys seen him on the MHL draft pre-show. Here he is on the AHL, and he's also got the number 1 pick. Saint, how you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Just waiting to get this draft started. MHL draft was like, five and a half hours long. And we have more captains than they did, and a lot of new captains that I hopefully have been practicing with a draft bot, so we don't have Jets killer errors. But just ready to get these things started.
Nice. We'll get to that later in the show. Moving on here, another captain here, Jason Blaze, second time around here. Blaze, how the hell you doing, man?
Not bad. It's a historical night. We've never had so many teams draft at once. I hope it's not going to be a huge fail. We're just minutes away, and it's going to be really exciting.
Awesome. And lastly here, I don't know how you made it on the panels here after last night. Giant Man, how the hell you doing, man?
www.mooseandice.com. Follow us on Twitter at Moose on Ice. Yeah, Moose fam, I'm hungover as hell. Coochie Wally former member of the Moose Hockey League. He's still a member. He hasn't played in a few seasons. So he ended up having an engagement party. So shout out to Coochie Wally. Hollywood, you came through over there yesterday as well. Captain Funbags was over there as well. A lot of good times. I'm paying the price for it today. I feel like a moron. It doesn't matter because we're just minutes away from the most historic draft in Moose Hockey League history. 18 teams over here. Make sure you guys stay tuned for live radio coverage by none other than Jason Blaze, Low End Theory, and thank you, Kessel, a.k.a. Goofy J. And these guys, they're going to give their expert analysis in addition to, thank you, Kessel, probably ripping on Jason Blaze. I'm going to ask these guys to try to keep it to a minimal, so we can discuss the draft picks and other pertinent things throughout the draft. And you guys said it, too. It took a long time for that MHL draft on Thursday night, guys. So it's going to, it might take some time today. Hopefully these guys tested it out. There were guys this morning and early this afternoon testing it out with Kuzi 87. So shout out to him and Duke. Duke ended up doing the draft on Thursday night. A lot of things go into this, Moose fam. So give a shout out to a lot of these guys and thank them for helping making the Moose Hockey League possible. Hollywood, back to you.
That's right. Thanks, Giant. Of course, Captain Funbags had to be there last night. What night isn't he there, man? But we're going to take a quick break here. This is the live panel. We got a lot of topics to discuss here. When we come back, more of the live panels here. We're minutes away from Season 6 of the MAHL Draft. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the panels here, guys. First topic on discussion on here. If you go over on moosenights.com, some posts already made on this. Some went down during the Thursday night MHL draft. And guys that are complaining being picked as MHL rights players where they say they never chose that option. They haven't checked the draft pool on that. They were picked up as MHL rights. One in particular, Holy Diver, making a big post on that. Jason Blaze, I don't know if you checked that post out there by Holy Diver. What are your thoughts on this, man?
I think he's a former Buckeye dude, man. Buckeye dude was the same way. He'd fail. He'd cry about it, blame others. And this is exactly what's happening here. Holly, this guy's just a fail. And I'm sure you guys just see how stupid this is. He's bitching about shit that he failed on, and he's blaming the MEC for it. I think it's just fail all around.
Okay. What do you think, Giant, man? Is this MEC fail? Is this a player's fault on here for not checking the draft pool? Who's to blame here, man?
Yo, man, you see how much I try to promote MooseandIce.com, Moose family, okay? So when I tell you guys to check out the posts and things of that nature, make sure you see that. This is a front page sticky post where it says, please make sure you look at the draft sheet to make sure it's correct on there. If your name and gamer tag isn't correct on there and there's a specific thread related to changing it. So, the MEC tries to fine tune it towards, closer to the draft, but a couple of things are going to get missed. You know what I'm saying? So, we want help from you guys too, Moose family. If you guys think there is a fail, if you see something, say something. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing with Yeti Killer, and he put a post up there and all juiced up. Dude, man, the bait that he put on there I ended up locking it because I don't want to see that much emo that soon into the season. So I'm like, come on, man. I mean, the blame is on both sides, but you guys got to understand how much work is put into the league just to set up for a draft or whatever. So yeah, maybe there's failing on both sides, man. But I mean, if you know you're going to play, if you want to be on the ice, make sure it's been properly posted on that draft sheet. I mean, how much more can you ask for, Saint?
I don't know. I think it comes back to the same thing we were talking about before the MHL draft with people wanting to go AHL only. I think for next season, they should just add the option to go AHL only, and then that would eliminate a lot of these problems that we're having. I mean, if you've been up for the MHL draft for a couple seasons in a row and you drop to the AHL, odds are that you're not going to go MHL. I mean, you could try, but odds are you're not going to make it there. So I think you should just have the AHL only option. So this would eliminate a lot of the problems that we've been having this season so far that hasn't started.
I agree, man. I mean, on there, I know there was Eric posted, contact him, something's incorrect. Make sure you check the draft pool sheet. A lot of guys failed on that, and now they're putting up this problem after the fact. You know what I mean? And trying to put the blame on something else. But I agree, Giant. Blame here is on both. But yeah, if we had an option on the draft pool where it said AHL only, which I don't think is there, man. Would have maybe solved a lot of these problems on there. I don't know if there was guys that wanted to go HL and couldn't, or forced to play in the MHL, or forced to be MHL rights players. Maybe there wasn't enough MHL rights players. I don't know, man. But it went down. Some guys arguing the fact, man, that they're MHL rights players now and wanted to be only AHL. Some wanted to be AHL from the start, man. So we'll see what happens if we could get an update on that draft sheet. For guys like Holy Diver, man, I mean, I don't know. Should somebody be replaced, or should Holy Diver still play in the MHL? What do you think, Blaze?
Nah, man, I think he should stay in the AHL. If not, I think he should be ruled one. Simply for being such a freaking retard and a cry-ass. He should be kicked out like Scotty, man. All this guy is doing is failing and then trolling the forums about it, man. Come on.
I disagree with that, Blaze. You got to calm down, son. Look, man, as much as fail as might have happened with Holy Diver, this guy has been here since the Moose Hockey League started. So I'm not going to go around here and say because he fucked up or somebody fucked up or something. Don't tell me there are no other guys. Maybe there's one or two guys to choose from to pick them up. But, I mean, presumably the MHL captains drafted guys that are going to be available for a goodly portion of time. Like, what are they going to be doing? They're going to be that many guys. These are their MHL rights guys. So I think he could be replaced. If not, I'm sure the MEC could help him if there's nobody left available for MHL rights that the MEC will work something out. It's not hard, man. Make a big to-do about nothing. Go ahead, Holly. What's up, man?
Giant, you said, a veteran player, a Holy Diver, a guy that's been how many drafts here in the Moose Hockey League, man? He's been here since season number 1, and I would understand if it was a new player coming in the league and be like, hey, I got this wrong, or first time playing in the AHL. But this guy's been here since day freaking 1, man, and so, I mean, Saint, what do you think, man? Should this guy be replaced, or do these guys need to be forced and play in the MHL? And then if they don't, like Jason Blaze says, rule one out of here, man. But
Saint? I don't know. There's got to be. This is where the MHLPA president and representative should be stepping into play. There has to be somebody intermediary between the MEC and the players, and I haven't seen that in a few seasons now. So yeah. I don't know.
He should step in because right now when you're an AHL captain, you're looking at the draft pool. You know what I mean? And you're trying to pick. You want to know which guys are MHL rights. If this guy's not going to be MHL rights, it does bring an option here on the draft pool, man. So when you're drafting these guys, especially availability, you know what I mean? And if he's not an MHL rights player, it would change some of these captains' selection here in the draft pool. We'll see if there's any changes, if anything comes about. But we'll be right back with another topics to discuss. It's the live panel here for the MAHL season draft, which is coming up in a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
Fallen Warrior doing some MAHL scouting.
Alright, welcome back. It's the AHL lineman panel here, just minutes away from the draft. Going on to other topics here. One thing that's being discussed, it always comes up every draft. There's always a captain talking about this. Even myself, I always come out on this. And that's the limit, the roster size on the AHL teams. They're 9-man rosters. That's 8 rounds of draft here in this 18-man 18-team captaincy with 9-man rosters. Now, Blaze, man, what do you think about this? Eight rounds. Every team needs to draft 8 rounds, have 9-man rosters. Is this the solution that we've come about here at season 6 of the AHL, or should there be an option round, man? Do guys got to draft 9-man rosters here in the AHL?
Nah, I think it should be cut off after 8. Logistically, most captains only play their top 6, so you gotta figure, instead of having 3 people sit there and not play, just have 2 for backup or whatever. Say captain drafts a 2 out of 3 series a week guy, then obviously 1 player's gonna be used. But when you got 3 people there, then chances are 2 people are gonna get snuffed out as usual instead of just 1 person, right? I think it's kind of stupid. It's just going to delay the draft beyond belief. And it's quite stupid. You got to figure, fucking, what are you going to do with all these people? Like, are they just going to sit there? Are they going to bitch about not playing? It's just going to be more emo over the season. And I don't think captains want to deal with it this season, considering there's 18 teams to trade with or talk among. It's other... I don't know.
Okay, I mean,
this is stupid.
I mean, I know they ran 9-man rosters last season. It worked, no sim losses, and they're going again with 9-man rosters here again this season, 8 rounds. Saying, what do you think, man? Should every team be counted to 9-man rosters, or should there be an option? What do you think, man?
Well, I know there was no sim losses last season, but that really doesn't have anything to do with the large rosters. I mean, the majority of teams were playing, like Blaze said, with the same 6 people. A couple of people fill in here and there. You may have a waiver play here and there, but primarily the season was the same 6 people, and that includes the captain. So all these people are on the bench. They're bitching and moaning. They want to play. They want to play. I'm good. You should see me in my club, this and that. And they end up not playing or getting traded away, and then they get a sour taste in their mouth about the whole thing.
I agree, man.
So bottom line, I think it should be optional.
I mean, all 3 of you guys been captains here in the league, man. I mean, is it a lot more work when you got to rotate lineups, do that, play this guy in here, do all the captains draft the same style, man? I mean, there's different availabilities on there. Giant, what do you think, man? 9-man rosters here. They said it worked last season. Why not do it again here? What do you think, man?
Look, there's no perfect solution, Moose family. I agree. I'm inclined to agree about the optional round. You want to draft 7 guys. If you're a captain, you probably want to draft 7 guys. So you got 3 backups over there, maybe a goalie, maybe a D-man, and maybe an offenseman. If you can't field your normal 5 guys, you as a captain, or if you're going to be a really nice guy and you're going to sit yourself out while you play your guys, because I wholeheartedly understand and I agree with those guys bitching that are on the bench too. They don't want to ride the pine. They don't want to warm the seats up. They want to be on the ice. And what's so great about this, Moose family, is for those who are undrafted, which is going to be very few this season. We play waiver games, and the waiver team, the guys who run the waivers are huge. There's going to be guys every night. I believe USSR Sniper, Hollywood, I believe you as well, Jason Blaze, Saint, you guys too. I believe each of you are going to be playing 1 night per week to keep these guys interested. And at the end of the day, they're going to be playing hockey. Straight up, period, end of sentence. So rather than riding the pine, and I think that's what we're going to end up having to do this season. We're going to have to tell those extra guys, that are drafted after the 5th round, to make sure you pay attention when we post information about the waiver games. There should be front page posts every night, whoever does it, in my opinion, so people know. Let's keep these guys interested. And this is how much the Moose cares about you guys, sitting on the bench. We don't want you to, but I really think I'm going to try to push for this next season that the 8th round of picks should be optional for MAHL captains, Hollywood.
Giant, I don't want to get into the whole waiver games things at the moment here. Yeah. With the big rosters, when AHL first started off, they went with 10-man rosters. It didn't work, man. I mean, you still had some losses, no matter what size you have. I mean, you see other leagues have like 15, 18-man rosters. It doesn't work out, man. What works here is a successful waiver pool. And we got a successful waiver pool like we do on here with waiver games, keeping these guys active. You don't need a huge roster here, man. When you got guys that could sub in there, when you need guys, you rather do that. It relieves a lot more stress, man, when you have like a 9-man roster, when you got to rotate guys in and out, better than grabbing a guy off the waiver to fill in if you need him for the night, man. I just feel that this is what I feel here, fellas. When AHL started, AHL was an affiliation to the MHL teams. So when guys asked for call-ups or guys, MHL rights players to go play, it was different, man, because you were affiliated to the MHL team. No longer are AHL teams affiliated. And when you draft your Giant, when you draft on the AHL, you know exactly who are the MHL rights players. It's not like before where the MHL captain could just grab any guys from your roster, man. You know exactly who's going to be. So let's say I'm a captain in the AHL. Let's say I don't draft any MHL rights players, man. Do I need 9-man guys on my roster to run here? No, I don't, man. If I got no AHL rights players, why are we forcing captains to pick guys like Chip Slapper, who's not going to be there, or guys that are 1 series, 2 series available, man, where, I think each captain uses different strategy, man. If a captain comes in there, decides not to draft MHL rights players, decides to draft all players that are 3 series a week, I don't think he needs a big roster. I think it just, causes more confusion and drama there, man. So.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's no perfect solution, Moose fam. So, but I think when a captain in the MAHL is forced to draft 8 guys, I think that is a little bit excessive. But I really don't think there should be a problem with any of those guys drafted after the 5th round. They should be available to play in waiver games too. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, there's not going to be that much undrafted guys in the first place. So, I mean, have them do something. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep interested, because that's what happens. That's what happens. Go ahead, Ollie.
But it's more. I think it's a lot better to be a waiver than be a guy that's the 9th man on your roster, man. I mean, the waiver's going to get a lot more playing time than this 9th man on the roster, who's pretty much riding the bench there. Don't you think?
I agree. That's right, dude. I'm going to push for that next. I assure you, Moose fam, I'm going to push for that next season. Really, because I wholeheartedly agree with that. And because there's a different guy running the waiver games every night, it's based on, what their availability is, the captain is as well. So they're going to have that opportunity there to run those waiver games as well. So I get it, dude. I get it. That 8th guy being drafted, or number 9 on the roster, number 9 guy on the roster, dude, he's going to be riding the pine a lot, I think,
My question, guys, is what happened with the Raging Fornicators? They had at one point 12-man roster. None of them MAHL rights players. How'd they win the cup then? If these guys are bad, then.
Yeah, but didn't Cloudy?
You guys know?
Ringers.
Didn't Cloudy end up trading guys then off to other teams who had availability issue? He's like, I'll give you this guy. He's active, and then he got a guy that pretty much doesn't even sign on, man. So I know Cloudy did that as well, man. So I mean, you could sit there and you could say, 9-man rosters is the solution here, but it's not, man. When you have I would understand if we didn't have a successful waiver system, if we didn't play waiver games and waivers weren't available. Well, we got like over 20 waivers available each night, man. Why are you gonna have guys riding the bench for, man? There's no reason to, man.
Go ahead, Saint. Yeah.
About the Fornicators, global ringers. That's how Fornicators won the cup. But yeah, Cloudy helped out a lot of captains. He made trades and gave captains things they needed, and Cloudy ended up rule wanting a couple of people he picked up. So it ended up working out for him in this case, but it's a case by case basis. It can't work for everybody.
That's the thing, man. Can all 18 captains run like 9 or 10-man rosters, man? I don't think they could, man. I think some captains go into the draft with a different strategy. Everybody has their own strategy and who they pick up, man. So, yours could be different from mine. I could, Yambak could run a 12-man roster, no problem, man. But then there's other captains like Captain Funbags who don't want to, have that responsibility telling this guy, hey, you got to sit the bench here, man. So to each his own, man.
Yeah, you don't want to give them bad news, and that's basically it, because everybody wants to be on the ice.
Bring back the optional rounds, man. Bring back the optional rounds. Hey, I want more guys. I could always pick an additional player off the waiver pool, man. Add it to my roster or whatnot, man. I could take that option round in the draft.
You gotta let captains, but you can't let captains abuse that system either, Hollywood. So you gotta say no. Your max roster could only be 8 guys or something like that.
Let's say I do have an 8-man roster. If I have a guy or two that are inactive, we got a whole bunch of waivers that I could replace this guy with. No, I mean, if the waivers are there, man, why not? All right.
Yeah. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
We'll be back, man. 4-man panel here. Minutes before the draft. We'll be right back.
Now you hit the left bumper, okay? And then you use the left one for cross crease. This way Yambag gets emo and throws his controller into his TV, and you can never get scored on again. Hey Moose fam, now back to this pre-draft coverage. The MHL, serious business. No, a trape is when we get Hugh Laurie to give up his draft picks. You're going to be my best trape yet.
So, fellas, we're back here on the Live Man panel. Now, just minutes away from the draft here. And, in case you forgot, man, it's 18 teams here, man. 18 captains, 8 rounds each. Now, we've seen the MHO draft Thursday night where they had, some guys say it lasted like 3 or 4 hours. What do you think about here, Blaze? What do you think here, man? This draft here, 18 teams, man. How's this HO draft? Because a lot of people are already saying, man, this draft here is going to be a bunch of fail, man. What do you think?
Well, it could be. We're trying to make sure captains know their shit before they actually draft so that there's no delays. Again, there might be a Jets killer fail or maybe giant fails. We never know. They could be picking when it comes to their picks. We never know. But one thing, the MEC is resting assured that we're hoping to try to get it done before midnight. They're starting it a little earlier. 8 p.m. I believe it is. So special time, more captains. We're trying to prevent fails as much as possible.
All
Giant.
Right. Yeah, man. Look, man, I've been telling these captains all week, man. Make sure you retards get into chat sometime before the draft starts so you can test this out, the draft bot or whatever. And Kuzi will be running the draft bot. There's no reason for fail. I mean, but people, captains will find a way to fail. Look, man, and shout out to Saint0420. He posted with Duke when Duke initially created the draft bot. He posted the directions on there. So if captains actually took some time to look at that and to test it out with Kuzi in chat, it's pretty simple, Saint. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, basic commands, and if you need help, all you have to do is type help, and everything comes up for you. And Kuzi and Duke are more than willing to just pop open the draft bot and let you go into the PM box and do what you got to do. So if all the captains do what they're supposed to do and take a look at the menu and sit down with Duke and Kuzi, we should be all right.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're going to be there minutes before the actual draft, so if you still don't know how, man, and you're listening here on the NHL Captain, go in that chat right now, man.
Try it now. Try it now. Go now. Go now, man.
Yeah, pretty much, and figure that out. Because, I mean, it really shouldn't take that long to make a pick. I was actually pretty surprised the way AHL last season, man, how it went. It went pretty smoothly. man.
I was very impressed.
So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe AHL shocks us here, man. 18 teams, they looked at the MHL, which was only 14 teams, and there was a bit issues going on there. Now they're saying 18 teams. It might be a train wreck here. We'll see what happens, man. But I got real confidence in these captains here, this AHL here. I think they'll get it done, man. I think we might set a record here. I think they'll get it done within 2 hours, man. We'll see what happens, man. 8 rounds. But maybe these guys did their homework. So, and there's a lot of talents on there. I mean, they got a lot of. I mean, there's over 150 guys on that draft pool. So options are there, man. And we'll see what happens. Now, keep it on topic here with the 18. I was talking about the draft. Blaze, what do you think, man? AHL going 18 teams this season. Is it something that should have happened, or something? 18 teams, is it going to be too much for the AHL to handle here, or just about right? What do you think, Blaze?
I think it's going to be a true test here, considering the amount of waiver output we had last season. It's going to be a true test, see how competitive, see how watered down, if it is at all, in terms of competition, see how the captains and the MEC deals with the day-to-day problems. It's going to be an interesting season. If it fails, of course, the MEC will probably go back. I would assume it's logical. Go back to 12 teams or whatever, or maybe a lower 14. But if it's successful, I say run with it and see how it goes.
What do you think, Giant Man? HL here, this is our 6th season here. HL, it's no longer a new league on here. We got 18 teams coming in this season, man, for this draft. It's been bumped up from, 12 from last season, going 6 additional teams here. Is this something that the AHL's due for here for season number 6? What do you think, Giant?
Yeah, it's long overdue. We should have added 2 seasons. We should have added 2 teams. Last season at least, man. So there were so many players that we anticipated signing up. And I already stated to the MEC, if we didn't get enough signups, I would step down as a captain or whatever. I don't have any problem whatsoever doing that. We ended up having enough guys, and it's so. I think it's going to be so successful that I think this is going to be good for a couple of seasons now that we have these teams. The same amount of teams. Maybe we could add a couple more teams next season. I'm really excited. Saint?
Well, there's a lot of things going on, and fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, 18 teams, coming in this season.
Teams, you look back at MHL, what was it, season 8? Season 9, where there was 16, 18 MHL teams, and that's what produced the AHL, because it was just a colossal train wreck when it happened in the MHL. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been scouting the shit out of all these guys coming in, and there's a lot of talent. So about them saying that the waiver pool is going to be thin, the draft pool is going to be thin, and there's not enough talent to go around for the teams, I think they're dead wrong, because there's a lot of good guys coming in.
Hey guys, look at Giant looking at his scouting reports there, man. He's scouting already.
There's definitely a huge draft pool on here. I mean, you got MHL rights players on there. You got guys that were on waivers a whole season on here and now are in the draft. You got AHL players. You got guys that decided to go AHL only on the draft pool. So, I mean, that draft pool is just tremendous. You got 18 captains. They got a lot of options there, a lot of decisions to be made here. 8th rounds, 18 teams, 18 captains. I think we get it done, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see that in a couple of minutes from here. We'll be back here for the live band panel. Don't go away.
Man, that was a long ride. Ooh. Low in theory, but I'm not blowing up Holly's bathroom. I'm watching MHL Sports Center. Serious bathroom business. Oh.
All right, guys, we're ready here, man. It's the finals, Elite Championship. I'm ready. I'm pumped up. Blaze, you there, man? You ready?
Yeah, man. I hate fucking losing, man. We're gonna win this game here. You guys do your part. I'll do my part.
Let's go. Let's do this, man.
Okay, guys, let's get off to a good start. Win the face-off. We'll get out of the zone, and we'll get the first goal. We gotta get quick, guys. This is a strong team. Let's start off strong.
All right, nice face-off win there, Blaze. Let's go. Let's do this. Hey, Fallen, you're offsides, man. Fallen. Hey, move, man. You're offsides. Damn, man. Another goal. Where is this guy, man? Is he sleeping? He's not even moving, Blaze.
Hey, are you there? Like, are you there? Come on, move. You got the puck. Come on, what the fuck? Come on, Fallen.
Pass the
fucking
puck,
idiot.
man. What the hell's going on here, man?
They scored another goal.
Oh, my God, man. What the hell's going on, man? This guy better not be passed out on us.
Oh, just wait until I see him. Fuck!
All right, welcome back to the live panel. We're going to close things out here as we're minutes away here from the live AHL draft here taking place right there on moosenice.com, which is also going to be brought to you by the radio show. Now, Blaze here, heading into the season, we said 18 teams, 18 captains. What about the competition level here in the AHL, man? Not only is it 18 teams, I mean, to win the Antler Cup here, you got to defeat 17 other teams to win it. Plus, just making it a playoffs, man, is going to be pretty difficult here. Only 8 teams make the playoffs. That means 10 of them are out, man. You're not only battling 2 or 3 teams to make the playoffs. That's 10 out right away, man. What do you think about the level of competition here in Season 6?
I think it's going to reach fever pitch during the trade deadline area, around the middle of the season. Right now, the odds are stacked against each captain. You have 7 out of a possible 18 chances of making the playoffs here. That's hardcore. That's what the MAHL rules. The thing that I'm worried about is the draft pool. It might be watered down with 18 teams, all the talent spread. It's going to be a matter of which captain picks the best team during draft or who can trade for the best team. I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think the talent pool is going to be watered down with the 18 teams, and that's the only thing I'm really scared of. Giant?
Yeah, I think the draft pool is really deep. I think there's going to be a lot of competition out there. The previous season's the largest amount of teams we had in the MAHL is 12, so only 4 teams did not make the playoffs. It's going to be a lot more competitive now. I think there's going to be a lot more emo now. And the most exciting time is pretty much when it gets towards the end of the season, when guys are fighting for spots over there and guys are fighting for position. But I believe we're going to be having 2 conferences in the MAHL. So it's going to be top 4 from each conference. And that's who's going to make it to the playoffs. So we're going to have 2 conferences. We're not going to have divisions within that. We're just going to have 2 conferences, and we should be good.
Johnny, with the 18
Hollywood.
Yeah, Johnny, with the 18 teams, man, we're talking about the competition level on here. How important is this first round here? Let's say you got the number 1 pick, man, like Saint over there, and then you got to wait for your next pick. You got 18 captains there going. How important is round 1 here in this AHL draft, man?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, the draft is deep. So I think there's going to be 2 rounds. I think the first and second round are going to be the most important. Rounds for captains in drafting strategically. Then you can start filling in the rest of the pieces. I think a lot of goalies are going first and second round. Guys have been crying before that the goalies are a little bit it's a little bit thin in the goalie that's available. You guys heard that in the MHL draft pre-show. I totally disagree with that. Plenty of guys that prefer and willing full-time goalies here for the MAHL draft, Hollywood.
You're looking at one
including
right
yourself.
That's
including
right.
yourself. So
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So we're just minutes away. Like I said, the live radio is going to come on air, man. Give you guys the recap, what's going on. You could check out moosenice.com. It's going to be the live draft going on there. Before we sign out here, fellas, we also got Saint 420 here. As you guys know, he's got the number 1 pick here for the draft. Saint, man, I always ask this. Low end tried to get the pick out of NJ Ski. He couldn't do it, man. How about it, man? How about give us here, man? Who's going first in the AHL draft right here live on the Live Man panel, man?
Well, there's a lot of people in the AHL this season, like D-Mark. He's definitely number one potential. Like Giant said, the goalies are going to be going first round. There's a lot of people, but the guy I'm going to pick, where's this number right here? He goes by the name Sweat the Technique, number one. You heard it here first.
Wow. There you go, man. Sweat the Technique, man. Who's ever got number 2, you're on the board, man. Sweat the Technique going number 1 here. Let's kick it back, man. Live on the radio. For myself, Hollywood here, Giant 918, Jason Blaze, and Saint 420. We'll see you guys at MooseNice.com.